Hey everyone, welcome back. We've got some big Polestar news to discuss today. So it seems that Polestar is unleashing a huge marketing plan, especially for the Polestar 3 SUV. Thankfully, we wrote a new article about this exact subject, a full article posted on Monument blog. Check it out, link is in the description below. So the Polestar 3 $20 million marketing budget. How will the brand stand out now? This is a very important subject to discuss. Polestar, the pioneering automaker, is introducing the first crossover SUV, the Polestar 3, in the North American market and is making a major effort to push its success. Now, the Polestar 3, a performance electric SUV, as it is commonly referred to as a crossover, this is the first of its kind from the brand and it will be available in the US during the fourth quarter of 2023. That is in possibly October, November, December time. Now it will initially be produced in Chengdu, China, and then a year later in the Volvo plant located in South Carolina. Now the CEO Thomas Ingeloth of Polestar expressed, and I quote, "We're providing Americans with American-made products." That's right. So they want to make the Polestar 3 in America, and they're doing that both strategically and intellectually, and it's very marketable because it's not just an incredible SUV that's premium, luxurious, but it's also a car that will be manufactured in America, and it's being marketed for Americans. So it's a very smart strategy, of course. Now, in order to make an impact amongst the competitors, Polestar will launch a large-scale marketing campaign worth $20 million for their Model 3. That is the Polestar 3 on April the 4th, which coincides with its North American introduction at the New York International Auto Show. Now, this budget surpasses what they spent in the first quarter of last year. This is where, of course, they had an advertisement during the Super Bowl, that famous Polestar ad, "No conquering Mars." They threw a few jabs at VW and Elon Musk and Tesla. Yeah, that was a pretty popular advertisement and it did well for Polestar brand. Last year at that time, the majority of brands we promoted at the Super Bowl, especially for electric vehicles, what people actually did instead is when they researched electric vehicles, they found out more about Tesla. Despite the fact that Polestar did benefit from last year's Super Bowl ad, it would seem like Tesla benefit the most despite having no ad, because Tesla is the default electric vehicle. So because Tesla is a default, whenever people Google electric vehicles without the Tesla name, they automatically found a bunch of Tesla details, a bunch of Tesla cars that are ready. And they're ready in so many locations: SUVs, sedans, cheap sedan, expensive SUVs, all different ranges, the Model X, the Model Y, the Model S, the Model 3, and more cars are on the way for Tesla. So Tesla benefited despite not having any ads. And I think possibly that Polestar recognizes that, and they probably recognizes that they needed to try a different advertisement technique, a different advertisement strategy. I think 20 million for this advertisement campaign is more than enough. I think 20 million for this advertisement campaign is just a start. It's just the beginning for Polestar. Gradually, if they want more awareness to their brand, they'll have to spend more money into advertisement. You know, the business of advertisement is so overwhelmingly successful. The margin from advertisement to making a profit on each unit that you sell, it's really interesting. Per unit, imagine that, per unit, you have a certain amount of how much you'd spend on that advertisement in order to sell that unit. And not everyone is going to want a Tesla. And I think this is where Polestar becomes really unique in what they can offer, because they're offering different from Rivian. They're offering different from Lucid. Lucid can barely keep up with their demand. They're not building enough vehicles. Rivian is limiting themselves to the USA for now, and they only offer 2 different vehicles, and that's just a SUV and a pickup truck. No sedans yet, but that would be the most popular vehicle overall, I would think. Sedan or hatchback. Nevertheless, Polestar sits in a really unique position. And Polestar can capitalize on the areas that Lucid, Rivian, and Tesla are failing to succeed in. But of course, there's other companies that are trying to succeed in areas, and they're also failing too. You got VW, you got Toyota, Toyota is not trying at all to get into the electric vehicle game. And it's strange, it's bizarre, but You would think they would put their pride aside to accomplish this. But who knows? It's going to be a fascinating thing to see what happens with Toyota. But I love this idea that Polestar is putting a lot more money into advertisement because they really need to. The stocks right now is extremely cheap and a lot of people are panicking. I'm trying to remind people that you don't really need to panic at the moment. This is not financial advice, but this is a cheap share at the moment of a really good company and I love it. So I'm not panicking because I still believe in the product. I believe in the product so much you could not imagine. It's not just the product, but the product that I believe in, the management. I believe in the backing from Volvo and Geely as well. And you can clearly see they don't intend to just manufacture just in China. They want to manufacture on multiple continents, the USA included. So Gregory Hembrow, Polestar US head, says they are confident that the Polestar 3 will resonate with the American consumer with its out-of-home campaign in key markets, complemented by network and cable television, as well as solid media awareness. According to Hembrow, the mid-size premium crossover segment is significantly larger than that of luxury sedan, and North America is the leading market for Polestar. The Polestar 3 will enter the scene with a price tag of $85,300 based approximately. Now, consumers can also lease the vehicle. To further promote the model, Polestar plans to open destination stores in suburban locations, possibly with service departments, which will feature a limited stock of around 12 vehicles. These are some images I wanted to share on the blog of the amazing Polestar 3. Wow, this vehicle just looks stunning. Comes in a few different colors, of course. I've seen this vehicle in black in the snow, and this is part of Polestar ramping up the debut of the US tour and marketing campaign, of course. Really astonishing. So in long-term range, dual motor version with a performance pack, the Polestar 3 will achieve maximum power of 517 horsepower, 671 pound-feet of torque. We've spoken about this before, but remember, 0 to 60 sprint in 4.6 seconds. For an SUV, that's incredible, by the way. I get that it's not Tesla speed, not yet. Remember, I always believe Polestar sells their vehicles on purpose to be a little bit slower, because they can offer you over-the-air updates and they can offer you paid over-the-air updates. So you will have to pay for more performance. If they launch these vehicles at a reduced speed, reduced performance, they can get you to pay more money for upgrades over the next 5-10 years. Essentially, Polestar can make an additional $5,000 to £10,000 or dollars from you over the course of the vehicle's lifetime. This is just a theory I have, but it's a smart strategy. It's not Polestar that's only implementing it. There's other companies who will be implementing this as well. We've seen Polestar had over-the-air updates or upgrades that you can pay for. We've seen that before. So that's my theory why the Polestar vehicles are a little bit slower than you would expect from a luxurious premium SUV or sedan. It is because they know they can upgrade the car over time with over-the-air updates. Now, the Polestar 3 range goes up to 300 miles using a 111 kilowatt battery pack. According to Polestar 3 designer Maximilian Missoni, it oozes performance and SUV personality. Now, in addition to Smart Zone in the front, the Polestar 3 carries some concepts from the Precept concept car. The Polestar 5 will be a production model, and the sporty Polestar 4 will debut in 2024. With the Model 2 launch in 2019, Polestar, a company partner with Volvo and the Chinese automaker Geely, enjoyed a good year in 2022 with a revenue increase of 84% to $2.5 billion in 2022, and they delivered over 51,500 vehicles in that particular year. That was last year, 2022. They made $2.5 billion. So if Polestar continues to do this for the next 4 years, they will make $10 billion. That $10 billion is more than what the company is valued at right now. By the way, that's in revenue. That's not in profit. But right now the company is worth in market cap just around $7 billion. So essentially in the next 4 years, they can earn more than that. So what can I say the least is that the company is undervalued, and we know it. don't forget the company is extremely undervalued. So this is some videos that the CEO had to share with us. Excited to kick off the North American debut of the Polestar 3 in New York City.
I'm in New York to kick off the US tour of Polestar 3, the SUV for the electric age. For the first time, we're bringing it here to the cities all around America. After New York, Polestar 3 will be in Los Angeles and then heading off traveling up the West Coast towards Bellevue, Washington.
Oh, that's awesome.
We hope you'll join us along the way. Polestar 3 is an important car for our young company. It's our first SUV and the first car designed from day one as purely Polestar. SUVs are the most popular segment in the US, and electric cars are gaining in popularity. So this puts us in the right place at the right time, bringing this car to market. Next year, we will start to produce Polestar 3 in Richville, South Carolina, for both our American and European customers. In designing Polestar 3, we wanted to create a premium electric SUV that addresses some of the problems associated with SUVs and helps accelerate the change from fossil-fueled cars to sustainable electric mobility. It's a car that's beautiful, powerful, and a joy to drive. And we can't wait until you can see it for yourself.
There you have it. They're not just taking this car to New York, but they want to take it to Los Angeles and the West Coast area. This is another video by Thomas Ingleith. This was posted on his Twitter account. Just a room full of exciting people. Probably listened to the CEO talking about the Polestar 3 and the Polestar brand overall and the upcoming tour, of course. Look at that room. That's a full room. That's exciting. So that is it for today's article. Thank you for watching. Subscribe to see more. Leave a like, leave a comment, and I'll see you in our next video. Peace.